Paul Ireton here with Real is Rare podcast. On my left is Norvin Lopez. On the right is Larry Sanders.
Because Larry Sanders had to maintain concentration with the defender being in front of the rim.
So Larry Sanders coming off 18 and 16.
And the tip-in from Larry Sanders.
What up, what up?
What's new, brother?
What's the word?
Tell us what's going on, man. What's new with your life? And
Well, first off, excited to be here, man. I am Larry Sanders. I played for the Milwaukee Bucks and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Played in the NBA for almost 7 years and retired when I was 26. And yeah, man, just been an entrepreneur since I was 26. Now I'm 37. So just building up my second life. You know, thing about being an athlete is that you're always gonna have a second life. It's just when is it gonna begin, right? Mine just kind of began a little earlier than most by choice, but I was ready for it. I grew up an entrepreneur. I grew up selling snacks out of my book bag. I had a lawn service with my neighbors when I was 12. You know what I mean, cutting grass. So my dad instilled that in me. You know, I think I was something I didn't even realize till I was like later in life is that I never saw my dad get up and go to work in my life ever. He was like 40 when he had me, and he had already been retired from 2 different jobs.
oh wow,
Yeah, so he he cooked every day. But he instilled in me like entrepreneurship. You know what I mean? And
you cook yourself, or?
I do cook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty good too.
What kind of food?
My specialty?
Yeah.
I could do a jerk chicken Alfredo.
Damn.
I could do a Cajun honey butter salmon.
My son's getting hungry, man.
Cajun honey butter salmon with some sweet potatoes and broccolini, steak. I mean, what you want to do? Jambalaya.
I gotta get you in the kitchen, man.
I love
Just
it.
had me cooking when you came to the house.
Hey, you know,
Saw me doing the cooking.
hey, come to my house, I got you. But yeah.
I had just curiosity, man. What was draft day for you? Whether it's your feeling or perspective.
Well, it was amazing. You know, for one, it came out of nowhere. Like I had no aspirations to go to the NBA. You know, like I said, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be an oceanographer. I had a deep passion for art. Basketball kind of crept up on me. I just
The height crept up, right?
I was always taller. You know, a taller guy.
But not 7 foot.
But not 7 foot. And then the work ethic. You know, like I just put my head down and work. Like I love progression.
Yeah.
I love seeing myself get better.
Yeah.
The consistency of putting and knowing where you were and then seeing where you you go. Like just from consistency, right? Just brick by brick.
Yeah.
I love that. I love it. So I fell in love with that part of it, and within 6 years of playing, I was in the NBA. I started when I was 15. I was in the NBA at 21. You know, and
You started basketball at 15.
first time ever playing for a team ever.
Wow.
Yeah. First game I ever played, and I scored in the wrong basket because I didn't know you switched baskets at half.
Oh, wow.
So my life,
This wasn't the NBA, right?
No, this was my first game ever playing.
Because I saw a clip. I might as
me
well,
almost scoring in the
I might as well
basket,
bring it
right?
up. And then Jason Kidd was
Yeah.
they
didn't know I was only 5 years in at the time. But you know, even when I got to the NBA, certain coaches seemed very like they were taken back with the lack of knowledge I knew, just terminology and things like that because I was very new to the game, but I had a work ethic that just.
It's like playing golf and you go, "What's the birdie?"
Exactly. Did I hit the birdie?
Yeah.
Like where?
Yeah.
What eagle?
Exactly.
When you said basketball crept up on you, like were you scouted in high school or how'd you
No,
make your
I
way?
played 1 year AAU. My 11th grade year going to my 12th, because we won the championship my 11th grade year. This is my first year playing varsity.
Gotcha.
My 10th grade year, I played JV. And I was 6'6".
Wow.
On JV. Tells you how bad I was, right? So, like, you know, I need development. I was very raw. So I had a great coach. I had, you know, some great point guards who really put me through, you know, just worked with me. And then by the time my 11th grade year, we went to the championship. I think I was averaging like 12 and 7, right? And I play AAU. I have a great summer. I got so many colleges sending me letters. It's ridiculous. I don't even know what to do. Me and my mom, we don't know what to do. So it got to a point where I met a basketball court, And I'm hooping, and the guys are like, "Hey man, where you gonna go? D1 or D2 or D3?"
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, well, shit, D3 sounds like the highest one, right? 'Cause
So you're telling everybody D3.
D3. So they were calling me D3. That became like a name of mine. And the court like, here goes D3. I'm thinking like, I'm going D3, but I didn't understand that D3 was the lowest and D3 was D1. It was that I was that forward to the whole,
Man.
you know. I was thinking I was going to ITT Tech, bro. Like I wasn't thinking about, you know, playing basketball in college. So I play AAU. All these teams are scouting me. Before my senior year, I signed with VCU. Before I even played one game of my senior season, I was averaging almost 30 points, like 25 and like 15. I was killing.
Wow.
I was killing. And so then I go to VCU, not playing so much as a freshman, but then, you know, just putting my head down and working, man. And next thing you know, within 3 years, I started my sophomore year. We win a championship again, kind of the same recipe.
Right.
I ball out my third year, and then I get drafted 15, you know, in the lottery. So it happened like that, bro.
Quick,
it was a blink of an
wow.
eye. You know what I mean? So
That was straight to Milwaukee, right?
straight to Milwaukee, yeah.
Got it. But now it was 4 year. What is it? 4 year, 5 year career?
I retired after my 5th year.
Yeah, after the 5th year and all that. So what was, you know, like probably, I mean, we were talking about a few things, but were there Kobe moments in that? I know you mentioned a little bit about like Kobe.
Do I have a Kobe story?
Yeah, Kobe story.
Yeah, of course.
If you could share that,
Of course I do.
I love that, man. Give me one Kobe story.
R.I.P. the great Kobe.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to his family, his wife, you know, all his supporters, you know, everyone who admires him, because, you know, we all lost something when Kobe left, for sure.
right.
But he left something with us.
Everybody knew where they were at that time.
Yeah.
What he left with us is it's this feeling, right?
Yeah.
It's Kobe.
Yeah.
It's literally like,
It's that Mamba mentality.
think about all your emotions about all the different
Yeah.
people you know, and then there's Kobe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's how you describe legacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When people talk about legacy, that is legacy. The feeling we feel is the legacy.
Yeah.
For sure. So we were playing the Lakers in LA, and I actually have this poster on my wall. We were, you know, scouting report. I had this one play that Kobe liked to run. It was a wide pin down where he would reject it sometimes. Sometimes he'd come off, shoot the fadeaway. That I wanted it bad. At the time I was leading the NBA in blocks. So I was like, I was hunting down my favorites and trying to get a block on them.
Right.
So
This is when you were averaging like 10 blocks a game, right? 10.
No, 10 is crazy. I was averaging 3.
Three? Was it 3?
I had a 10 block game though.
Yeah, well, that's what I remember.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I
that's
had a
what
triple-double.
it was.
Yeah,
3 blocks a game though. That's very, very like hard to do.
Now I think you lead the league with like 1
like
and a half.
1.6, 1.7, something like that. Yeah.
That was 3. It was me, Shirky, Serge Ibaka.
Yeah.
We had some real guys. I mean, Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
I played with Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
And Kevin Garnett.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So
So you're on the pin down, and then
pin down. So he rejects the pin down, and they bounce past it to him. He goes for the layup, and I go and grab it off the backboard. Right, I grab it, and it's not usually, you know, I'm boom 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 playing, you know, soccer, and, you know, someone else gets the rebound. I'm like,
Right.
no, I want this. So I go 2 hands it, right, and come down with it like that. And you see Kobe kind of like in the picture, kind of like slide.
oh, and you got that as a poster.
Yeah, I got this poster.
Nice.
For sure. So, but I gotta tell you the complete story. So I come down the court, and Kobe's like, "Man, hell of a block, young fella, hell of a block. Where'd you come from? Like, how'd you?"
Sizing him up.
So I'm like, yeah, I was at the top of the key, like I was sniffing it out, man. I wanted it.
Yeah.
He was like, okay. Kind of like looked at me. So I leave out of the locker room. I'm like usually one of the last people to leave out. I leave out. He's riding by on this cart. And he's like, "Get on the car, young fella. Look, I want you on the car." This time he has Dwight Howard and Paul Gasol on his team at the time, right?
Yeah, it's like
he's fucking frustrated with
was that
Dwight.
2012 or something like that, right?
Man, he's pissed off at Dwight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a shot at Dwight or what, but we talked about playing together. He mentioned it, and so I got on the back of the cart. We're riding through the back of the stadium. I'm passing by my teammates. I'm passing by the coaches. Like, you know, it was a moment because it's like I'm on the cart with Kobe.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like practice gonna be a little different tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
So we go to they come and play us again in Milwaukee. The same play, right? So they run the same play. It had to be like the first two possessions of the game. And instead of curling, he fades back to the corner, right? He pushes off, boom, fades to the corner. They pass it to him. I'm sniffing it out. But now I have a longer run.
Yeah, right.
So I'm running to him, and he pump fakes me, right?
Yeah.
I'm flying through the air, just trying not to hit him. You know how you just try not to hit him? And he jumps into me, boom, shoots it, falls on the ground, and one. I'm like, oh, he would have got the 2 points back when he made the free throw. 4-point play.
Oh, it was a 3 too.
4-point play.
Did he say anything to you after?
You didn't have to say nothing. You didn't have to say anything.
There was no ride to a cart ride anymore.
I mean, it was in Milwaukee at that time. You know what I mean? But like, I mean, he didn't have to, man. It was just, they told me stories about the way he gets revenge and how he plays.
Yeah.
But I actually got to witness it. Yeah, he's a very, you give him a reason.
Yeah.
Give him a reason to come back and see you, and he's gonna put 40 on your head. You know, like Kobe was a beast. Different kind of mentality.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
That's amazing, man. That's awesome. You got like what was any other unforgettable moments you could think of, or
in the NBA?
Yeah. I'm sure you have a few more, but
man,
who else
I got some
comes
stuff.
to mind?
I got some stories now. Well, I played with Monte Ellis. I played with Brandon Jennings. I played with Samuel Dalibert, which is crazy. He's a crazy guy. Drew Gooden.
How about Giannis? I know you got
Giannis,
how many
Giannis.
years did you play with Giannis?
3 years.
Okay, so you saw a good portion of the beginning of that.
Yeah, we got Giannis in the beginning. He was 19 when he came to the Bucks.
That dude just keeps getting better and better and better, man.
Yeah. I mean, great work ethic. Has a lot of fun when he plays. Has like a lightheartedness about him, which is great.
Did you see him like in the early stages where like this guy's gonna be a dog when he gets to it?
For sure. I always when in the beginning I was like, I only felt like the only person that I could compare him to. I was comparing him to Kevin Durant a lot.
Kevin Durant
a lot when he first came in the league. He didn't shoot as well, but just his athleticism and his ability to just score.
Right.
Was, but then he had a different element, like where he lacked in shooting, he excelled in passing. Way better passer than Kevin.
Wow.
Not as good shooter, but passing.
Yeah.
Oh my God! When he first came in the league, passing the shit out of the ball, bro.
Yeah.
I'll show you some clips of me and him. Like, you'd be like, wow.
You guys probably had some crazy practices.
Yeah, we did. But I ended up getting injured.
Okay.
I tore a ligament in my thumb. I got jumped in this bar.
Oh wow.
By 8 dudes, and I broke a ligament in my thumb. Yeah, 8 dudes. It was crazy. It was a crazy.
This is in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Man.
It was in Milwaukee, and I ended up tearing a ligament in my thumb. It was the 3rd game of the season. I just got paid.
Yeah.
And I was out maybe 50 games. I come back 10 games later. I get elbowed in my eye. Blow out my orbital.
Oh wow.
So after I got paid my 4th year, I played maybe. It was my 4th year actually. I got paid my 3rd year. My 4th year, that's when that happened. I probably played like 10, 15 games, and then I retired my 5th year.
Gotcha.
So really, I played about 3.5 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. You got anything you want to share?
No, man. It's awesome to hear the behind the scenes of what goes on in in today's game. So as far as basketball wise, I know you said you played a lot. What about I know you had a stint there where it was with LeBron and Kyrie. Mm-hmm. Do you have any moments there that really stood out? During playing with LeBron James and Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love as well. So any moments there that really stood out.
Yeah, that was a fun bunch, man. They had a deep brotherhood. I could tell that when I got there. Iman Shumpert, Tristan Thompson. J.R. Smith. I mean, just think about that cast. The crew of guys. Yeah, it's it was a legendary cast. So I felt honored to be a part of it. Upon landing, went to Tristan's house and they were filming an episode of The Kardashians. So kind of let you know what it was like going there. Man. From being retired for 2-3 years.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was dope. It was a dope experience being in Cleveland.
Nice.
That's what led to exiting the league?
Again?
Yeah, well, at that
Or
point,
the
like
first
when you
time?
were in when you were in the
Cleveland.
tail end of it.
It's just the same thing. It's kind of same
Yeah.
bitter taste in my mouth that like when I left it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I retired, it wasn't an easy retirement. You know, they weren't really, very understanding of what I was going through because there was nothing in the collective bargaining agreement that even had anything to do with mental illness at the time. Right, like it was foreign language for some reason.
So it was just to clarify, it was mental health that.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It was anxiety and depression. You
Wow.
know, so I was, I didn't know how to deal really with it,
Right.
and they, it was nothing contractually that forced them to deal with it.
Right.
So
Right.
it was like gray area.
Yeah.
And I kind of had to take my own mental health in my own hands. So
There was no like they didn't have anything to like to address it when you were. Wow. Because I know during that time in the league there was a lot of people that were going through it too as well. Like DeMar DeRozan was
that's
going
after
through
I
it.
left.
Yeah, this is after you left. So
those guys kind of
yeah.
came out about it. And, I would like to think I made it a little bit safer.
yeah,
I kind of put myself out there first. And
exactly. You were in the forefront and everything.
Yeah,
So
and I had to. It was scary
Yeah.
because the climate of the situation seemed like most people who had even shown any inkling of weakness before me had been outcast or seen as crazy or seen as dysfunctional or
Right.
you know what I mean. And as humans, we're packed animals.
Or
Right.
weak. I don't know,
Right.
whatever the label is, right?
Yeah, weak.
Yeah.
We're packed animals.
Yeah.
Like the last thing we want to do is be exiled.
yeah,
That's the worst. We
Yeah.
need each other.
Right, right.
So I think that's what, stops a lot of people from coming out about what they're going through.
right.
The fear
right.
of being alone, the fear
Yeah.
of being, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it.
So I think, it was a lot of factors that played into it, but when I was actually able to speak out and be vulnerable, people accepted me. And a lot of people resonated with my story
Right.
and was like, "Oh, okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm going through anxiety too, and I've been depressed, and
Yeah.
I know someone. My mom's depressed,
Right.
and I don't want to work in my job either.
Right,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like
Right.
I hate my boss too. You know,
Right.
so I think that being vulnerable and open, like not only helped me, but it also helped a lot of other people. So
Right. Awesome.
And then is there certain steps you do when you're in that state? Or, I mean, I know everybody has a different way, but how did you
get to retirement.
No, just that mental health side when you were going through that.
Yeah.
What was a
lot
way to
of-
cope or however?
Yeah. Well, I reached out to a lot of people who I admired, and I had a guru that came in from New York, and she put me through a meditation course while I was going through just contemplating retirement, and I was meditating with her for like hours a day. And she gave me different mantras and different unspoken words. I haven't never even spoken them out loud that helped me to get into certain levels of meditation and digging into my own personal health,
Yeah.
what I put into my body, even what I listen to, what I watch. It all matters so much.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I just had to go on that journey
Yeah.
because when you're in a situation like that, you're in the NBA or you're in a high paid position, you can be eternally suffering, but
Right.
externally winning, and people will literally tell you to keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
They will feed the monster
Yeah.
because on the outside it looks like this.
Yeah. Just sweep it under the rug. And stuff,
Internally, there's a lot of work to be done. So
Yeah.
I get it, man. I mean, a lot of times there's no when we're going through I've been through a certain state like that, especially when you have all kinds of. And it's like sometimes you feel alone in the world, even though there's people around you, and sometimes
There's
it's
a lot of people dealing with
self-isolating.
it. Yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of people are dealing with the same thing. And if you kind
Yeah.
of just open up and vulnerable, sometimes you can have a group of support.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
but that's ego. That's us.
Yeah.
Right.
We're special. We're one of one.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
suffering is alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ego just wants itself.
Yeah.
Ego don't
Yeah.
care about you or your family and
Right.
no one else around.
Right.
It just wants to be alone.
Yeah. One of the things I noticed, man, you're very connected. I mean, you're connected with your feelings, what's going on, your surroundings, your environment, and all that. Did that come natural? Is that something you worked in since you got off the league? Or
I grew up in a treacherous environment as a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of domestic stuff going on around me, and there was a lot of stuff going on within my community. So I think it made me very hypersensitive, right? It made me really a feeler.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And internally as well, knowing what am I going through and how can I, how is what I'm going through affecting the experience of everyone else around me?
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not everybody thinks like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, because
That's a
everyone's
big,
having an experience
Yeah.
here.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And how am I making their experience special?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Outside of my own experience. So,
Most people think of how can I be special here?
all right, what are they doing for me, right? You ain't entertaining me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like when, everyone's having an experience. You know, so it just made me hyper aware of that, hypersensitive to that, I think, and but just being able to kind of use that throughout life for real.
Tell me a little bit about what you're doing with is it a charity? What do you
In
have
Egypt?
going on? Yeah.
So I do these camps.
But it's all over, right?
all over. Yep,
Okay.
I've done one in Orange County. I've done one here in Arizona. But this is my first time kind of going overseas. Yeah, I'm doing it in Egypt with this refugee academy that I've been in talks with, that I met with last year. And a bunch of refugees from Africa that come to Egypt
Nice.
for safety. A lot of them are just sent there by their parents,
Yeah.
haven't seen their families in years, you know what I mean? And just to be able to spend time with them, give back, put them through some basketball.
Right.
And then I'm doing some stuff for the academy, some paid stuff too for some guys that just really want to tap into their skills and get better.
Nice.
So, yeah, all around, man, and just enjoy Egypt right now because there's a lot
That's
of
awesome.
fun stuff going on right there.
Yeah.
in Egypt,
And then you're doing some stuff with Ice Cube, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, the Big Three.
Yeah, the Big Three.
Oh,
What
yeah,
you
the
doing
Big
there?
Three comes up. That starts June 15th.
Okay.
Are you actually playing there? Or what
Yeah,
do you,
yeah, I'm playing. Yeah, yeah. So the draft is May. I'll actually be in Egypt
Do
during
they
the
have
draft.
like heights that they do? Can we get in or? No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
there's not a height limit. There's not a
I'm
height
just
limit. So y'all like good. But there is a skill limit now.
Our ambition is 100.
I think that's where we get cut off on that.
How about-
It's not even an age limit. You can be old. You can be young. You just gotta
Still
play.
got hope. We rented the Staples Center just to mess around and feel like NBA players, and we got the referee. Like we watch the game, and then afterwards we get to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's sweet. That's sweet. That was very. That was.
We get you on the
very-
team now, and then we can go against other teams.
That was a very rich statement.
You heard that, right?
Yeah, he slid it. He said the first three words were rich.
That's all.
Very rich. We're gonna rent the lake. We're gonna rent the Staples Center
Actually, sorry, it's like
so that we can play basketball personally, 1-on-1 full court. We're gonna watch the game, eat tacos.
it was 5-on-5
in the middle.
actually. Yeah.
Whatever. That's crazy, man.
We gotta do that, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with it.
Yeah.
I'm with it.
We'll do that again. This time we're gonna win.
I'll do it and take
got
pictures,
Larry.
and then the internet will go crazy. They're like, "You're coming to the Lakers." That's what they'll think. They'll be hyped. They'll be hyped.
Let's do that. Let's put that on the schedule, man.
Let's
That'd be
make it
good,
happen, man.
So you got what's next for you, brother? I mean, you got your hands on different things. Obviously, you're a very passionate, skillful, spiritual guy. That's kind of, I know you lead with that more than anything. But what's the next chapter for Larry Sanders?
Man, my oldest is 14 now. I have 4 kids, man. My youngest is 4. I have a 7-year-old and an 11-year-old girl. And
Wow. Girl dad.
Yeah, man. She rules the house. She's like my second in command. Like she's like my echo. She don't play. So I mean, just keep progressing, man. Fatherhood, manhood. Surrounding myself with the right people so that we can always grow together. And just got insured my license to, sell insurance. So,
Hey.
yes, sir. So,
Congratulations.
and just continue to add stuff to my wheelhouse and progress, man. And then give it back. You know?
I know you had passion also for financial literacy. I mean, you were telling me like what's that about? Tell me
Yeah,
how
I mean
that came about.
that's everything. That's kind of like the missing piece. I had everything else.
Yeah.
But if without the financial literacy, you just lose it all.
Right.
Right, you just lose it all. So being able to educate myself and others on what I've learned so far is everything. Preventative, right? Helping these guys to prevent some of the same mistakes that I made. And it's all in the knowledge, right? It's all in. So I'm excited about what I've learned so far, what I was to learn more, and then shedding this knowledge to my peers and guys who need it, people who need it. my community in general lacks that understanding. And that's why I love GFI, because they've opened the doors for athletes and, people in my community where I grew up to get this education.
Right.
And take advantage of these different products that can build your estate and give you financial freedom. So, I mean, that's what we all looking for, man. It's freedom, man.
Yeah.
I had all that money with no freedom, so
Right. I
freedom
hear
is what we need. So,
Time and money to do what you want.
come on now.
Yeah, that's it, man. So you got like I have. Let's go a little bit on like maybe a mental state, because I know I've struggled with it with just different things. I'll just put it out there. But what would you say to that person that feels alone, or that maybe you could talk back to, that 21-year-old self or 25-year-old self? What would you tell him, or maybe anybody out there that's struggling with that and they think they're alone, they think they're the only one going through it? Because sometimes it can lead to destructive stuff. I mean,
I would say this.
Where,
I would say, why not? Which is it's a different perspective to take, but like, why not? Why not you? Why shouldn't you suffer? What makes you so exempt from the human experience that you shouldn't suffer, that you shouldn't have pain, that you shouldn't have agony?
Yeah.
Embrace it. It's a part of the human experience.
Yeah.
You're separating yourself from it.
Yeah. Right.
We exile ourselves. We put ourselves away from what we should be running towards, and because it's painful sometimes, right? It's uncomfortable, but it's the human experience, right?
Yeah.
And if we run towards it, we find gratitude in it, right? Because we're experiencing something.
Yeah.
It's
like unavoidable.
Yeah, it's unavoidable. And why not? Why not?
Yeah.
And now what can I do for someone else?
Yeah.
How can I be outside of my body and my personal experience and affect someone else's experience? That I feel like that's what moves me out of any negative space, right? Doing for
Such a good
others,
perspective, man.
Yeah.
right? And then gratitude in that. Like, I'm grateful that I can do this for someone else.
Right. Right.
Take yourself out of that negative space,
That's awesome.
One of the things that I've at least either learned and applied was sitting in my pain, right? There's nothing wrong with sitting. A lot of times if you ignore it or shove it, like we were talking about shoving it down the rug, and not dealing with it and not feeling it. Like, there's a purpose to that feeling, and whether it calls you to action or you get tired of being tired and you're not willing to settle for maybe certain things in your life anymore, or friends, or this, or whatever the circumstance is, but that pain leads to power. You know what I mean? And so same thing with maybe a depressed state, where the other side of that is joy, but you don't know what joy is unless you felt
Exactly.
depressed
Yep.
or unhappy.
Right.
So there's the gift to every emotion. I believe there's a gift to every emotion, man. It exists for a reason.
Right.
And so anyway, I just that's something that one I wish I would have known like a lot sooner. I mean, because as a child, didn't really deal with our feelings or our whatever we felt kind of didn't matter. We didn't talk about it. It was just move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Your chores.
Right.
Clean, cut the grass. That was it.
Yeah. Like you said, something that was big though, like sitting in your pain. I think that's like, as a man, that is the number one lesson that we have to learn.
Yeah.
And it's so hard because it's like we want to react. Like pain, pain, anger.
Right.
Like when I understood that everything doesn't have to translate to anger,
Yeah.
you hurt my feelings, bro.
Yeah. Right.
That sounds crazy, right? That sounds crazy for a man to say, but that's true. Sometimes your feelings is just hurt. Like, I don't want to talk. I'm sad right now.
Yeah.
Like,
I
that
think
hurt
the
my
new
feelings.
generation has they communicate their feelings way better
They
than
do.
the last.
They do, because they see how it's like it's hurt us that we haven't been able to do.
We're
it.
like
The last
struggling.
generation they don't want to struggle like that. So, I mean, really just being able to be like, yo, you hurt my feelings, bro. Like, what you said, it hurt my feelings. I need time and space to process it, and I feel sad right now. I'm not going to retaliate.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hurt your feelings back.
Yeah.
I don't have to be defensive now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the next level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that as men, because we have more power. We you know what I mean? We lead with power. We have to understand where the power really lies.
Right.
And that's not giving someone else the power.
Right.
You know? And sitting in that pain is huge, bro. That's like that's very big. Because No one wants to do it.
Yeah.
They want to react to it, right?
Yeah, it's probably the biggest gift I've given to my boys as well, because I got 3 boys, is like the power to just connect with each other's feelings and own it and own your, own that feeling, man. And so I got some boys that we just connect in that way. And so it's been different because, I mean, in the early stages of fatherhood, I didn't have that. And then kind of the later stage, I did. So it's like 2 different dudes that's dealing as a parent.
You growing up with them, man.
Yeah.
We all are. Growing up with our kids, bro. They got to deal with it. I ain't perfect, bro.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to get me at different levels.
Yeah.
And then I got 4 kids, so guess what? My 14-year-old is things that my 4-year-old is getting a better experience than you did, bro. And I'm sorry, but I didn't know what I know now.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I did with my 20-year-old. I sat him down. I go, man, I'm sorry. I was growing up with you. You know what I mean? Like I literally had a
We both were going
kneecap to kneecap kind of conversation with my son, and I was like, you didn't grow up like the rest. I mean, I was growing up with you.
But sometimes
I was trying to figure it out.
Right? There's resentment around that sometimes as a child. Because they're like, why do I have to stay in the house and they get to go out? Why am I? You know, it's like, you got to understand. So.
Deal with the trauma. I said, so you got some trauma there, but all good, man. I think we all got traumas. I mean, some of it seems smaller than others or bigger than others, but I don't think there's small or big. Everybody has them, whatever the journey they had there.
Right. And it's trauma is, let's put it in its place. It's used for a reason, for survival, to steer people away from danger. You know, it's that's why everyone has it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just understanding what it is and not letting it,
build up inside and stuff.
You know what I mean? The trauma have you afraid of the world around you.
Right.
Such a good point, man. I love how you view it, man. Plus, you've been in submarines at 15.
Yes, sir. I tell my mom.
I didn't see a lot of black people in submarines.
Oh yeah, there weren't a lot of black kids. There weren't a lot Not only was the blackest, but I was the biggest. So
How tall were you then?
I was probably like 12 years old.
Yeah.
I was like 5'3".
Okay, that wasn't bad, man.
3, 5,
that wasn't bad.
I had a growth spurt when and when I got into the 6s, it just was like Jack and the
submarine is
Beanstalk.
another animal. I mean, at that height.
Yeah, for sure.
You still want to go in submarines, or?
I took my mom in one. I took my mom in a submarine in Hawaii like 3 or 4 years ago. Yeah, so they have them.
How do you get in there?
It's like a bus. So the submarines are they're huge.
No, but I mean, you're.
I got ducked to get in everything, bro. Like, I mean, it's nothing new. Honestly, to try to have to get into some small spaces. So I make it work. You know?
Yeah, I love it, man.
I don't know how you do. I get claustrophobic in those type of things. Man.
Yeah, if I was as claustrophobic, bro, it would have been a hard lot.
Especially that's what I was saying.
It'd have been very hard for me. Real talk, because everything's small.
That's amazing, man. So you have couple things, man. I wanted to ask you what any advice for young folks there that's chasing their dreams, or?
Stay consistent. Stay consistent. I would say that the special thing about your dream is that it's your dream. No one else can see it, and they're not supposed to until you show it to them. You know, so getting a whole bunch of people to rally around your dream is not how dreams are made.
So true.
You know, you have to be consistent with yourself and execute, and understand that, how big is your house?
I mean, you want to do
Square
some rich
feet.
statement again?
Yeah, I mean, let's hear some rich stuff, because it's been a bit. It's been about. No, I say that for a reason.
10,000.
10,000 square feet,
some
right?
change, yeah.
10,000 square feet. So someone will walk up on that and be like, "Yo, what? How could this be? How could this happen?" Someone drew it. Someone laid one brick. They went home. They went to sleep. They came back, laid another one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Take your time. Do it. Be consistent, and one day you'll have that mansion. And that mansion is whatever dream you got. Whatever dream you got. But it starts just brick by brick. Consistency. Go home. Go to sleep. Just do it again tomorrow. Don't expect to wake up to the mansion. Just wake up to the brick.
Right.
You know.
I see so many people that I call it delusional thinking, right? I mean, they're so detached from what's taking place here now, and their mind's like somewhere else where there's almost like everybody, whether it's they want to be a YouTube star or this or that. I mean, everybody has like this. I understand the big dream, but they're so detached from what's going on here, where they're big timing like the little things to get there.
Yeah.
They're not willing to carry the brick.
That's the conversation I have with all my artists, because I manage artists, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they come in the game and they want to, I'm gonna do this video and I want this car and I want this. I'm like, you're not that yet. You identify with that, which is great, right?
Yeah.
You're identifying with the end goal. But Travis Scott didn't get there. He didn't get to design his stage. He had to go release 1,000 songs and go under. You know what I mean? There's so much stuff that you have to do at the ground level to get to that level, but you don't see that.
Yeah.
The artists just see, and they're like, oh, I want to do that. And if it doesn't look like that, then it's not. No. You need to just be consistently in someone's face right now and flooding the streams and just putting music out.
Yeah.
And once someone understands, like, those people have infrastructure, they have money behind them. No one's expecting you to perform like them. You're gonna go broke trying to do that.
Right.
They expect you to be a motor that they can attach to their infrastructure because they have all of the resources and know that it's gonna be a push. Show that you're a motor as an artist. No one's expecting that out of you.
Yeah.
So, it's right. It's the part they don't see.
Yeah. How'd you get involved in music? What's that?
So I was always making music. I started, I was writing music as a kid, but I started officially producing, like making beats, probably my first year in the NBA. And then by the time I retired, I started an artist incubator out in LA, where I was housing homeless artists that were in the city. So I had a fashion designer, a screenwriter, two musicians, a photographer, and we all lived under one roof in the valley, and we just created for each other. Right, I just wanted to fast start everybody's career. Everyone needed everyone, and it was dope.
Yeah,
I was producing at a high level then. I was just every day, and I made this beat, and I was really hype on this beat, and I was like, "Yo, this is the one." And one of the producers, one of the engineers at the time, he was working with OVO and Drake and then Party Next Door. And he was like, let me get this beat over to them, let me just get it played in the studio. He comes back, Drake sends the record back. Drake cuts the whole record, just him.
Oh, wow.
Literally, top to bottom. singing through the song. I'm like, wait, time out. I'm like, what? So the first song I ever had an artist on was Drake.
Wow.
My first record ever.
Yeah.
So we had this record for like 2 years, and he ended up giving it to Party Next Door, and Party Next Door recorded over it, same lyrics, and then we went gold. It was on Party Next Door's third album.
Wow. What was the name of the track?
Don't Run.
Don't Run. Okay.
Yeah. On P3. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Still doing that, or?
Yeah. I still work with hard artists. I still produce. Got a couple.
My question. Sorry to interrupt you here. There. What was on Larry Sanders' pre-warm-up game playlist? I'd like to know what that.
A lot of Lecrae.
Lecrae. Yeah, I know Lecrae. Yeah.
I used to listen to Lecrae before every game. Beethoven, like classical music.
Wow, this is for you to get ready for a game.
Yes, always music that was calming, because I had no problem getting to that level.
Yeah.
I had a problem calming down. I led the league in technical fouls.
Yeah. Oh, really? I did not
as well
know
as
that.
blocks. I also led the league in technical. It was me, and then Kobe, and then Blake Griffin.
Oh, wow.
Those are the top three.
Sheed
right
was already retired. He was gone already.
Yeah, he was already gone. Yeah. So I didn't have a problem getting amped up.
Yeah.
I had a problem like
bringing it back down.
Bring it back down. Bring it back down.
Wow,
That's good, man. You're heavily focused on your health now, right?
Yeah.
Optimization,
For
cold
sure.
plunge, red light therapy. What else you doing?
All of that stuff, man. Big on red light. Big on cryo. Body massage, tissue, deep tissue stuff, acupuncture.
Doing all of it, huh?
Yeah, man. I love it all. It all resonates with me. So
It's awesome.
Meditation,
for sure. Yeah. Frequencies. I just got a frequency machine that I can like.
How often do you stay in your thoughts or evaluate your thoughts or processes that you do? Is that part of?
I try to moment by moment. I think I get lost sometimes in the dream of the day. You know, that can be, right?
Yeah.
And then you wake yourself up and you're like, damn, 40 minutes went by.
Yeah.
You know, but for the most part, yeah, I mean, I'm very intentional, right? I kind of set out before I start my day, I kind of set out how I want to feel more than what I want to do. Right?
That's so important, man.
Yeah, it's just how I'm going to deal with the obstacles of today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just remember the gifts that I ask for from God are the same gifts that I try to remember to give. Right? I want forgiveness. I want understanding. I want patience. I want love. I want compassion.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's such a good point. Like the more people like most people will start with a to-do list. That's how you just, number one, you're overwhelmed.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Number two, it's not fun.
Right.
And then there's not,
And we're not
joy
human
in it.
doings. We're human beings.
That's right.
You need a
I always
to-be
say that,
list.
actually.
You need a to-be list before you need a to-do list.
Yeah.
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 That's
true.
That's so true.
So true.
Yeah, that's I love that, man. Like, how do I want to feel today, or what or what kind of impact do I want to give, right? Or share, or love I want to. That's so important, man. That's such a great point there. So, you got anything you want to share before we wrap up?
No, I would just want to, commend you and just, just being one of the first people to just bring mental health awareness, to the forefront. Because of you, like a lot of, players now are stepping up and, making it a big deal now, and people now all around the world, even my son went through it for some time now, but like, because of you, people are able to like, it's normal now to address the issue. And so I want to thank you for that. So
Appreciate it.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. To be a catalyst on the thing that was like ignored or not looked at as important, to where now, right? It's a thing. It is. It's not something that you can avoid. You go through it, whether you call it midlife crisis or early to whatever the age is. It's irrelevant. Everybody kind of has their seasons in life where they go through this. And I think first step to change is awareness, and you brought awareness to the space. And I think if there was one legacy you had, one of them was that.
yes.
Right? And it's a big deal, man, because it relates to me, and I'm sure there's thousands and thousands of men that see so much value in it, man. So I think there's that play that you have that's like, man, it's I want to take that from Larry, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's amazing, man. And I love where I love the way you operate. Your being, your spirit is just, it's a flow state. I mean, it's a flow state, and it's coming from great heart, man. So I've been around you good enough to know that. And so anything else for the audience, and where can they find you? And as we wrap up.
Yeah, well, I want to say thank you guys for the words, for sure. Wow. And I appreciate the relationship that we are building, and the things we're going to do is great. So I'm looking forward to all that. Like I said, Larry Sanders on my Instagram is @thereal_Larry Sanders. My YouTube channel is Larry Sanders as well, NBA. And I am going to be filming my trip out in Egypt, vlogging the whole time and live. So if anybody wants to experience that with me, you know, just follow me on Instagram.
Awesome.
There we go.
Awesome.
Cool, man. I enjoyed this, man. This was fun.
Always.
Thank you, brother. And we are out. Real is rare, baby. Follow us.